Today's video is who we think will qualify for Euro 2020 Group I. Group I contains Belgium, Russia, Scotland, Cyprus, Kazakhstan and San Marino. Euro 2020 has been hosted in 13 different cities, from Dublin to Baku, from London to Rome. Dan, who do you think will finish top of this thrilling group?
I think it's going to be Belgium. They have a very strong squad, including Eden Hazard doing very well at Chelsea, their star man this season. Kevin De Bruyne doing very well at Man City. He has been out with injury a lot of the season, but he's still very good. Romelu Lukaku not doing that great at Man United, but his international performances have been great. Jan Vertonghen and Toby Alderweireld have been doing very well at Tottenham, and Courtois has been doing exceptionally well for Real Madrid.
Yeah, and even players like Witzel and Fellaini, they've been doing pretty well for their clubs and for their country as well. So this Belgian team is really strong. And heading into the Euros, Dan, if they qualify now, how far do you think they'll get?
I think they're going to get into the final.
And do you think they'll win the final?
Yeah, I think they'll win the final.
Which wouldn't really be surprised seeing the strength of their squad and how far they got in Russia 2018. They were lucky to lose to France in the semi-finals. The team who will finish second now is Russia. Dan, Russia had a brilliant World Cup 2018. They got as far as quarterfinals. Very unlucky to be knocked out by Croatia. But do you think they can continue this on into Euro 2020? If you think so, how far do you think they'll get?
I think they can continue it on into Euro 2020. I think they'll get last 16. They had an underrated squad in the World Cup, but I think they're a very good squad, and I think they have a strong enough team to get to the last 16.
Yeah, they got players like Golovin, Cheryshev, Zhuba, and Fernandez. This team is a really strong team. Basically, they were really underrated, like you were saying there at the World Cup. And do you think Russia will be underrated in the Euros, or do you think people will expect them to get beyond the group stage?
I think people will expect them to get beyond the group stage.
Well, it depends which teams they get in the groups, but we expect them to get to the last 16 anyway. Do you think we'll finish third now with Scotland? Dan, Scotland, not a great last qualification attempt for the Euros. You saw it there, it was 4 years ago in fairness, but they lost to Georgia. Gibraltar scored their first ever competitive goal against them, and the only team they were successful against was actually Ireland, in fact. But how do you think Scotland will get on this time?
I don't think they'll qualify. They're very reliant on their left backs, Tierney and Robertson, and that's just not good.
Yeah, and the rest of the Scotland team kind of has to act together. They've really poor performances recently, but do you think Scotland might be able to actually challenge Russia, maybe give them a surprise at home or even away?
I don't think they'll be able to give them a surprise at home or away. Maybe a draw at home, but nothing else.
Yeah, because Alan McGregor's recently retired. He was basically one of the best goalies they had, and then Scott Bain's in, but Scotland really need to act up to get their act together, because their game against Kazakhstan wasn't exactly the greatest 3-0 defeat, so not exactly the start they were hoping for. The team we think will finish fourth now is Cyprus. Dan, Cyprus, people think Cyprus are easy to beat, but the last qualification attempt they had was actually pretty good. They got fifth in fairness, but they were very closely to third place. So how do you think they'll get on around this time?
I think they'll put up a fight, but I think they'll stay fourth as we predicted them. They would probably give Scotland and maybe even Russia a shock, and that's how I think they're just going to get on.
Well, it'll be pretty good for them anyway. They're really underrated now in this group, and teams like Kazakhstan, San Marino might be a good few handy points to pick up along the way, and this is why we think they'll finish fourth. Team we think will finish fifth now is Kazakhstan. Well, we know they had their shock win against Scotland, but do you think Kazakhstan can carry this on now against other bigger teams?
Maybe, but I wouldn't say so, because Scotland, Scotland, they're not great, and bigger teams like Russia and Belgium, I just think they're gonna lose.
Also, Scotland, we were saying earlier they were too reliant on their left backs. That just shows you how well they could play without the left backs, because Tierney or Robertson were both out due to injury. Losing 3-0 to Kazakhstan, you really do need your left backs. The team we think would finish sixth now is San Marino. Dan, San Marino have never won a competitive match. They've only won one game, which was a friendly against Liechtenstein. They've drawn the odd game. Surprisingly, won against Turkey actually, 0-0, but that was years ago. So how do you think San Marino can get on? Do you think they might even be able to pick up a point?
I think they'll be able to pick up a point maybe against Kazakhstan, but nothing else.
well, it still will be likely we end up in 0, but San Marino really don't stand a chance in this group. Would you agree with that?
I don't think they'll stand a chance in this group.
Okay then. Thank you for watching the video. Remember to like and subscribe. Comment what videos you want me to do next. See you next time. Good luck.